Aloha, friends. Brian Gossett with GM Sports Media, and this is another episode of Game Time with the Goss, powered by Grey Wolf Promotions. Hey, today's episode and every episode is powered by Grey Wolf Promotions. You need the best swag for your next high school sports season and playoff run. End your search and turn to Grey Wolf Promotions. Located in Hearst, Grey Wolf caters to everyone across the DFW Metroplex and around the state. T-shirts, hats, bags, and more. Grey Wolf Promotions has the best merch for your favorite high school team. Serving you for over 30 years. Contact them today, 817-868-9653, or email sales@greywolfpromotions.com. My man Bill Webb and his staff will take care of you this season. All right, my guest today is Prosper Richland softball coach Alexis Cantu. She's got the Raiders as district champs, 25-6 on the year. Their very first season playing softball, and they'll be taking on Salina in the by-district round. Alexis, thanks for being on the show.
Of course, glad you are having me here. So excited to be here.
Awesome. Okay, so Richland was the latest new school to open up. They just started this school year, and you previously being at Frisco Reedy, just how did this opportunity come to you?
Yeah, I just felt like it was a great opportunity that I really couldn't pass up as far as we're always looking to further advance our careers and starting a program from the ground up is something that not many people get to say that they can do. And so I just felt like, why not go for it and see what happens? And I ended up getting the job and I'm so blessed and thankful. And it has its challenges, but I've loved every second of it. So.
I mean, I do have to ask you just leaving Reedy and then just the challenges of starting a new program. Was it difficult at all?
Well, to leave Reedy, it was difficult because I felt like, last year we were undefeated last year, and we were district champs last year, and that was the first time in Reedy's history, softball program history, to ever win district champs and then go to undefeated. And so, yeah, I was really sad. It was sad and it was hard because, you start developing relationships with the players and, I had those juniors since they were freshmen. And so, again, we really built something special there. But it was hard to leave. But again, I just felt like it was an opportunity that I couldn't pass up in the sense of just like for my personal and self growth as a coach. And so, it did have its challenges because it's like, man, you built something awesome at Reedy and they like those kids are awesome and everyone there was great. But I felt like, I had more to give. And so
Yeah.
it did have challenges, but again, it's been fun and it's been hard, but I've loved every second of it. So
Well, who can say that back-to-back years, two different schools undefeated district champs for the first time in their program history? So that's an
yeah, it's
accomplishment
pretty
for itself.
yeah, I'm very blessed and I'm very honored and like I said, I'm very passionate about coaching and I love it. So really proud of last year's group and but also obviously this year's group starting from getting kids from different places and
Right.
just starting from the ground up, something that no one really has an expectation for when you open a new program. And so they really set the bar high here.
Speaking of your staff, one of your assistants, Allison Fair, she also came from Frisco ISD. She was the head coach of Wakeland, so you had those matchups with her.
Mhm.
You two were competitors, but talk about, one, your relationship with her in Frisco ISD, and then is that someone that you wanted to join your staff at Richland?
Yeah, so Coach Ferrari, she's always been a good friend of mine. Like when I haven't been coaching high school very long. I was a college coach before, but this is my fourth year as a head coach. And Ferrari was new as a head coach at Wakeland, and we kind of leaned on each other a lot. And so we would talk a lot just because, we were both newer. And so we would just bounce ideas off of each other. And we've developed a good friendship. And so I had told her that I was like, hey, I was in the process of the job, and then I ended up getting it. And I kind of just was like, hey, do you know anybody looking to go? And then she's like, I might be interested. And I was like, oh my god, come on. I was like, I would love to have you, like, in your knowledge and your expertise. And um yeah, so it wasn't something that was like super planned. It's just kind of like one of those things that I think we both felt like it was a good opportunity for us. And um she's been amazing, and we've worked really great together. And honestly, my other assistant, she's awesome too. We have a really great coaching staff here. And I'm very thankful that and blessed again that I got someone like Ferrari, and then my other coach, Coach Richards. They've been both great. So
Awesome. Speaking of your players, again, Richland being a new school, a lot of the players coming from Prosper High School, who was coming off a great district title in 6A last season. So to me, it felt like the transition was smooth because the girls already knew each other and knew how to play together. So could you sense that early on, and could you feel like you guys were in for a special year?
I would have to probably disagree with you. I think a lot of people think, yes, I do have a handful of kids that came from Prosper, but I don't think that some people don't realize is like a lot of them, there's probably three or four of them that are only starters. Like three of them for sure started. But there's three other ones, the other four were on JV. So
Okay.
it wasn't like we got eight starters, if that
Right.
makes sense, that played
Yeah.
together. Now, the kids we got are fantastic and they're very skilled. And so that was great for setting the foundation, right, around those kids. But they, I feel like they weren't really, because some of them, like I said, played on JV. And then we have quite a few freshmen on my squad as well,
Yeah.
three of them that start. And then I have two more that are also on the roster. And like I have a sophomore that starts. And then, like I said, they were on, some of them were on varsity, but they didn't like play a lot. So, kind of just getting them to like mesh and then build it into our own, because, they've had quite a few different, changes over there in Prosper. And so trying to just get them to buy in what we're doing over here was the focus, and setting that culture and setting that tone for season. And I felt like the kids did do that and they bought in. And like I said, they're very talented. We have very talented kids, but I felt like they bought into what we're saying. We're buying into them. And it's just now been like, we've been rolling, man.
Just segue into this next question. The first couple of weeks into the season, those first few games, uh, just talk about that transition and getting the girls, chemistry and the bond on the field during the first weeks
Of season.
of season. Yeah.
Well, so like my biggest thing with that is like, again, I kind of piggyback on like the fall. I really try to build like a culture in the fall. So we do a lot of character development, chalk talks. We do a lot of like teamwork type of stuff. So that way, because again, I noticed when I got here, I had skilled athletes. I'm like, they're skilled, right? So like, we just need to fine tune these skills, and then we need to mesh. That's the biggest thing, because you can have a team full of really skilled athletes, but if they don't work together, it's not going to go good for you, right? And so that's kind of what we focused on, was more that like team aspect part. And so I think, at the beginning, for me, I'm really big on like trying everyone in different spots and trying to figure out like what works and what doesn't, who can bat after each other, who can pitch to this catcher, and just trying a lot of different trial and error and getting to know them as players and as people. And then, once you start doing that, you kind of figure it out and they kind of settle in. You kind of like, all right, I kind of got an idea of what works and what doesn't. So that's kind of how that came about.
Awesome. I'll get you out on this, Coach. Just the athletics around Richland this year, this school year. Again, the first year. Just a lot of playoff appearances and deep runs in other sports. Just how fun has it been on campus here in year one among the student athletes and the coaches and all the sports?
Oh man, it's the atmosphere here is it's magnetic. It's awesome. I love our admin. I love our athletic support. I mean, it's just so supportive here. people genuinely care for each other and other sports. Like, I mean, I think the baseball team's coming to our game on Thursday versus Salina. Like, it's just everyone is so supportive, and there's just like I said, it's just like the culture is just it's the right culture, man. And so it's like being here, it makes you want to be here. The kids feel it, you know, the coaches feel it in all the sports. And so again, we also have talented kids, but like Coach Gilly and Coach Hughes, even our upper admin, like they're so supportive. They come to our games. They, you know, my principal goes in our dugout and cheers. You know, he's in the dugout watching the games, and it's like I've never had that, and I've only been coaching for, you know, like I said, I've only been a head coach for 4 years, but this is the first time I've ever seen that. So it's just like it's been a really great transition, and I'm so thankful to be here. I really love it here. So I know the kids do.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations on the success. And right away, just making sure this is correct. By district against Salina, 6 p.m. Thursday at Salina, and then potentially a doubleheader 5:30 Friday at Richland.
Correct. That is
Awesome.
correct, sir.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you so much. Congratulations on the success, and we wish you the best here in the playoffs.
Awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, and thank you for your time.
That will do it for another episode of Game Time with the Goss, powered by Grey Roof Promotions. And shout out to our other partners, Canine Kind Resort in Justin, Texas. Check out our website, gmsportsmedia.com, for your playoff stories and playoff schedules. And follow us across all social media platforms. Well, until then, I'm Brian Gossett with GM Sports Media. Enjoy the softball playoffs, and aloha.